I tried to do this on Facebook Live, but Facebook kept kicking me off with connections, and it's a little hard to restart each time. So this is a replacement video. Hello, No Purpose friends and followers. We haven't talked in a little while, which is for a variety of reasons. And we wanted to get you updated on what we are not working on, ironically. If you have followed along on our social media for the last year or so, or talked to me at any point in the last year, you would know that we were very excited to work on a show that was kidney transplant meets King Arthur. And I was going to co-write it with my dad, who is a 27-year kidney transplant recipient, and who I think exemplified a lot of the knightly qualities of chivalry, honesty, bravery, etc., all the things. So in my head, this is the perfect match. We're not going to write it right now. My dad passed away, and so without our co-writer, it's a little bit daunting. And I just need a little bit more time. So it will come, and I'm very excited for when it comes, but it's not going to come yet. The thing that stresses me out most about not producing the show, or writing the show and producing the show right now, is that between now and whenever this play comes into existence, that's a lot of time when people might have talked more about kidney transplants or organ donation, or they might have signed their donor card, and that's things that without this play, maybe it wouldn't cross their radar and they wouldn't think of doing it right now. And especially right now, I feel like I want to tell you what organ donation has meant and what it can mean. And I'm sure that if you've seen anything, you see that they're like, one person can save up to 8 lives, which is an incredible amount of lives for one person to save. But instead, I look at my dad, who at his funeral, there was like 400 people for one man. And you just think, some of those people knew him a little bit, and so many people also felt like he was their best friend, or he had concretely changed their lives in some way. He was also an RCMP officer who specialized in organized crime, and in 1 year he stopped 300 bad guys from coming into Canada. And that's just one person. So I'm really fascinated by this idea of what happens if this gift, these 8 people, if they were all to go into the world and pay it forward, trying to prove their worthiness. This is a word that came up a lot when talking to my dad, is like, how do you prove your worthiness to get a second chance at life? Why do you get a second chance and the person who donated their kidney to you doesn't get a second chance? There's a lot of complicated feelings with that. There's immense gratitude. There's guilt, and there's also, at least in my dad's case, there was a really deep yearning that he wanted to make sure that whoever had given him, like whoever that person had been, his donor, it was an anonymous cadaverous donor, whoever had given that would know that it had gone to a worthy person. And so he spent his whole life devoted to helping others and paying it forward and being the best human being. Maybe he would have been like that before, but I know that it was a driving force. And that's not to say that every single person who gets an organ donated to them necessarily has this philosophy, which is also what I want to explore. Do you feel odd or resentment about feeling indebted to someone else, or are you excited about creating a legacy for this person who didn't get to live out their full time? I'm not explaining it very well right now because I'm emotional, but my life has been completely changed because of organ donation. So if I was to be counting, I would say that person might have saved 8 lives, but they also saved my life, my siblings, my mom, all the people that my dad impacted, and it's like this huge spider web, or ripples, I guess, pond ripples going out to create like a tsunami effect of the impact of my dad, this one kidney donation. Which is to say, please consider organ donation. Please consider donating blood. Please get excited. The show is going to come, but in the meantime, my conscience would rest easier thinking that I have at least tweaked your interest to think about organ donation. And I'm very grateful to everyone who has signed their organ donor card. I'm grateful to everyone whose families have respected their wishes to be organ donors. And I am really excited to write this play one day. It'll be different than what I expected. But I wanted you to know. I wanted you to think about it in the time it takes me to write it. And I wanted you to know that you can be someone's miracle. That's a pretty awesome thing to do just by signing a signature. So please do it. More soon. Other projects are going to come up into the works. Mark and Lindsay just got married, and Darcy and Andre had a baby, a little mini production. That's a really big deal. Lynn and Sean are busy working. Christmas Carol's on hold this year, but we have more coming up, so stay tuned, and thank you for your consideration.